What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. I apologize for being late, man. I was off on a training course, but we took a break from that today. So I was like, son, I'm going home. I'm going home because I have something legendary waiting for me, son. I have the latest installment. The latest installment in the Wanna Awesome sauce of the best-selling manga in history. By God, nearly the second best-selling comic of all time. We are talking about the one, the only. Shout out to my cousin for being the real MVP. My boy went out and bought a statue, dog, of the king in Stampede doing that legendary pose because we all know what he is. He's the king of One Piece, dog. I love this thing, man. Just look at him, bro. I mean, it knocks you out a little bit, dog. But yeah, shout out to my cousin, man. Shout out to Niall. Shout out to Niall in Discord for sending me this wonderful link, bro. I was like, I hit him up this morning. I was like, bro, Niall, I'm coming back home, and I need you to do me a favor, bro. I want to read the best-selling manga in history, bro. Help the boy out, son. And he hit me up, and he served some awesome sauce, man. So here we are. I'm on here. I have no idea how to even use what he gave me, but we're here to read the latest installment of the best-selling manga in history, man. So we're gonna see how this works. I have read the last chapter 966, at least like 30 to 35 times, man. With every single one of those panels cut out, cropped. I have all of their faces, like all the different pages, and with like different little sections just cut out and cropped out. I adored last chapter so much, man. And as long as we are in this flashback, as long as we are following the journeys of Kozuki Oden, and we see all these legendary figures from all these different eras, especially the reason why I have the hat and the jersey on, because we are currently following the adventures of Oden while he is on Roja's crew, bro. And so I was like, you know what, man, for the first chapter of the year, for the first chapter to start off 2020, for the first chapter that starts off another decade of legend when it comes to the best-selling manga in history, what better way than to start it off with Oden and Roger. Golden Oden, son! One of the greatest flashbacks in this, or one of the greatest OSTs, flashbacks. Well, it isn't technically one of the greatest flashbacks. And it will end up being the greatest flashback, without question. With just chapter 966, it has solidified itself as the GOAT. As the GOAT. But without further ado, I have been waiting for days to read this chapter, bro. Let's get right into it. Chapter 967. And we start off right here. Giant Jump Character Gallery Special New Year's Fresh Art Issue. And we see all the Straw Hats right here. Ichiro Oda drawn as a request from Jump's publishing office, where it was pinned to the door. How the Straw Hat Gang spends their New Year's Eve. They spend it playing Karuta? Bro, what is that in the middle? Looks like they're playing cards. Hold on, coach. Hey, is my boy Usopp out here playing the Chihaya Voodoo, dog? Hey, man, Chihaya Voodoo. Okay, my boy Usopp is out here, dog. I feel him. Got the rest of the gang, too. All up around here. Feels great seeing them all in, like, one page in black and white. Because it's been so long, right? We normally only get to see the Straw Hats together in a color page. Ever since 2013. So to have them all together in black and white on a page like this is so dope. So dope. Here we go. Start of the chapter. Is that Water 7? Bro, Tom! See, bro, I can't handle this stuff, dog! From the clouds of Skypiea, the crew safely returned to the sea and set sail to a shipbuilder's city. The Arctic is colder. No, the Antarctic! And you already have Buggy and Shanks. Dude, Water 7, bro! After escaping from Sky Island in the shipwright's company. Stop fighting all the time. And you have Rayleigh being the father, like, dog, relax! He's slapping around a little bit, like, yeah, cállate. Hits him in the face. Roger. Really, you have a stone in your country? What color is it? It's red. Bro, and Roger's like, it's red? Don't you realize what I'm here for, dog? That's all I'm searching for. If it ain't the red truth, I don't want it, dog. You feel me? That's the type I'm looking for. You should have told me earlier, damn it. You have Roger, an enraged Roger. You don't want to piss off Roger, dog. If there's anyone in the entire series that you don't want to piss off, it's Roger. You feel me? We stole a rubbing from Big Mom's poneglyph. Yo, and it shows a prime Big Mom, bro. And in this panel, she kind of looks like a Whitey-chan from Whitebeard's crew. It's very, very similar. Yo, prime Big Mom, dog. And I have a feeling about where another one might be. Great, Captain. And you get an outer look of the Oro Jackson, son. Is this a gift from the heavens? I have all road poneglyphs within my reach. Bro, Tom, bro. My boy Tom, and you see everyone on him like, yo, Shanks is happy to see him, Buggy's happy to see him, Roger's hugging him, and he's wearing the Pirate King hat, bro. In the water capital, Water 7 Scrap Island. Oh, man, dude. Ta, long time no see, guys. Tom, I've been wanting to see you. Tom-san. Dog, Tom, bro, look at Ice Pops. Is the tree finished? Are you kidding me? It's still being designed. Kokoro. They are as loud as ever. You're an orphan? You want to come with us? Bro, Frankie! My boy! In his prime, dog. Pre-robot Frankie. I don't want anything to do with you pirates who just abandoned me too. Oh, man, dude. Because he's still holding the grudge with his pops, right? Because it was stated back all the way in that time. I forgot the exact chapter. But that Frankie's father was a pirate. And that's been a big theory in the community for a very, very long time. You know, who was Frankie's father? An orphan, man. And it's incredible that Frankie ended up joining the future King of the Pirates crew after all this. Probably because he had memories of Roger, right? He was like, yo, I saw him, bro. I saw Roger. You're abandoned by pirates? You're a funny kid. Brooke! Yo! Of course, bro. Of course my guy was out there, but, you know, this was during the time period where Brooke was, where Brooke was extremely lonely for all those years, man. He didn't have anyone. But, yo, Brooke was out here singing. He was out there having the time of his life, man. Even though he was all alone, but that's really what makes that flashback and like, Brooke's character so incredible to me. Like, the fact that he went through all that time, and whenever he actually got to see humans again and just sunlight again and all that stuff, it made him so grateful for everything. It's like, dog, human interaction. That's something we take for granted. Brooke didn't have that for over 50 years, bro. Yo, Big Sake. If Big Sake plays in this episode in the anime, it's over, bro. It's over. You have Oden and Toki holding what I'm going to assume is Hiyori right there. Yo. And then you have Rayleigh looking like an Ed, Nettie, you know the Jawbreakers in Ed, Nettie, dog? And then you see Neko and Buggy right there in the bottom. Oden, I think Momonosuke's on his head. Going to deliver Bink Sake. Yo, that bridge looks mad familiar. Isn't that the bridge from Robin's part in 3D2Y? I forgot the exact name of the country, but it's where Robin was in during the time skip. At least the bridge looks very similar to that. No, it has to be because it's snowing. It has to be. Fishman Island, bro! Let's go to the amusement parks. Don't be foolish, Oden. Yo, Oden was just like Luffy, dog. He was like, dog, no, they're on Sabaody. Because when I heard him say Fishman Island, I was like, oh, snap. No, they're on Sabaody, bro, the goat arc. Oh, return to Sabaody at least. Bro, Oden on the Sabaody, dog. Let's go to the amusement parks. Like I said, it's like Luffy. And then right here in the next panel, you see them all on Fishman Island. Now, this is going to be fascinating because remember, back in Fishman Island, we got that callback to Roger and how he was also one who summoned the Sea Kings and was able to hear their voices, right? You remember that flashback? Don't be foolish, Oden. There's a big chance we'll die on the way to the real Fishman. There's a big chance we'll die on the way to the real Fishman Island. Excuse me? The real Fishman Island? Am I being bamboozled? The real Fishman Island? Is there a second one, or am I? You know what? Maybe I might be overthinking it. The real Fishman Island, is that just like the? This is gonna stick with me now, bro. This is gonna stick anyways. Let's go to the next page. You heard that, Rayleigh? We heard what? We're 10,000 leagues under the sea. Who are you? Show yourself. Oh, Roger. Roger hearing the voices of the Sea Kings. Pretty sure I also heard something, because he can also hear the voice of all things. Where's all this noise coming from? Wait! Why are you here, humans? It's me! Look, it's me, Neptune! Roger! Is that Prime Neptune? Roger, I could barely recognize you. Are you the one making all this noise? Neptune is hearing it as well? Bro, look at Roger, dog. It feels so great seeing all this, dude. It's crazy. I feel like, I know I've said this multiple times this year, but dude, it real deal feels like I shouldn't be seeing this information. It feels like I'm spoiling myself, dude. You feel me? Like, we haven't done anything wrong. And we could see Fishman Island from the outside. That's because you haven't done anything yet. Listen, I stopped you to talk about a prophecy, something a man of your caliber could achieve. A prophecy. The doors to Fishman Island will be open for everyone, and the border between our worlds will be no more. Bro, the one that Robin read off with Joy Boy? Since you're here and you have the power to destroy the entry to the island. Sir Neptune, our army has suffered. Hold on, whoa, this is huge. The doors to the Fishman Island will be open for everyone, and the border between our worlds will be no more. Where's volume 66 at? Where's this chapter at, Coach? Was the final chapter of the arc and post party. There it is. Bro, I had it bookmarked with with this trollish man Boshi playing card. Why did I have that bookmarked? Was I gonna talk about it in a theory video? Oh yeah, the Instant Messenger Sama theory video, bro. I just remembered. That means that there has to be another one of those cards in Alabasta then. Whatever. Anyways. Joy Boy, where is the apology? I swear I've heard that before, bro. Or was it at the beginning of the arc where they talked about that? Whatever, man. But hey, I'm putting this bookmark back in there. I'm putting that bookmark back in there. Let me see. But anyways, the prophecy. Since you're here and you have that power to destroy the entry to the island, Neptune looks back. Sir Neptune, I can't believe it. Our army has suffered some damage. The door that allows ships into the harbor has also suffered some damage. Roger, did you hit it? There's a hole near the border bubble too. Go and patch it. So the day of the disaster has finally come. I mean, we've been standing right here. It wasn't us. The day of disaster. At age 3. Madam Shirley was out here looking at all of this inside of her, what are those things called again? The Roger greatness has me losing brain cells. What is that thing called again, man? The, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, man, the ball. You know what, I'm gonna come up with my own name for it. She's looking into the Back to the Future ball, bro, the Back to the Future orb. I don't remember what this thing's called. Will only happen after the Mermaid Princess is born. Mermaid Princess, wait, hold on. The day of disaster will only happen after she's born. Mermaid Princess, now that's new. So the king is going to have a daughter in the future. Should we throw a party now or wait until she's born? Wait a minute, I'm not even married! I only became king a few months ago, too! But Sir Neptune, everyone knows that Shirley had a prophecy containing information about how a carp will marry into the royal family. Oh, right. And since then, Otohime has been leading political demonstrations, demanding the king to better our relationship with humans. What kind of prophecy is that? Undersea Forest. As you've witnessed, the whole country is caught up in the child's prophecy. Neptune, for the last time, we've got nothing to do with this chaos. You have Scopper. Right here. Wait a second, there are 2 poneglyphs in this forest. One of them doesn't seem important, but yes, the other is there we go. The apology from a man named Joy Boy, bro. I must say I'm impressed you can read those. More importantly, the weapon that could shake the entire world isn't here. The poneglyph from Sky Island said it would be here. And it is. Well, about that, I recently heard one of Shirley's prophecies concerning the weapon. Every 100 years, Poseidon, the god of the sea, is reborn. His hidden power to destroy the land lays dormant inside a pure maiden. So basically, Poseidon is reborn within the mermaid princesses as through the eras that go on. That's very, very interesting. I wonder why. To put it simply, it's highly likely that my daughter is the weapon that will destroy the world. But as far as this prophecy goes, I have no idea what kind of person she will be. So Poseidon is a mermaid, huh? I can give you some tips on fatherhood if you want. Yo, Oden's like, dog, you need some tips? You need some call 866-515-5555. You know, Oden's my nut, bro. Oden was on TV whenever I was a kid talking about some cinco. Yo, my guy Oden was out here selling it, dog. Like, yo, you need some help? Do you need some help with some parenting? Do you need someone to give you fatherly advice? Then look no further. Call my number immediately, and I will help you with any and whatever things what a father needs and a parent requires. My boy Oden was out here selling his parenting abilities. That's my goat, son. That's my goat. Hey, Shirley, you got any prophecies? And maybe you can tell us when Poseidon will be born. 10 years. And that came out to be factual, right? There you have it, Roger. 10 years. Honestly, I'm disappointed and concerned that you're showing so much interest in my family affairs. This man said he's disappointed. Give me a sec. I apologize about that. Let me turn this off. Neptune, what we're after is the treasure left behind by the weapon's creator. We're not Neptune, what we're after is the treasure left behind by the weapon's creator. We're not interested in the weapon, right, Roger? Wait. Neptune, what we're after is the treasure left behind by the weapon's creator. Hold on, Skip. Wait just a moment. Wait. Hold on, bro. A treasure left behind by the weapon's creator. Weapons. And I'm going to assume that he's talking about, in terms of weapons with an S, he's talking about the other ancient weapons along with Poseidon. Wait, bro, so all of them were created by the same being? It can't be instant messenger, Sama. All of them were created by the same being. A treasure left behind by the same being who created all of those weapons. He's gotta be talking about the One Piece, right? Because what other treasure could he possibly be looking for? You feel me? Like, yo, what other treasure is there in the series? So does that mean, is that why Oda has continued to, like, hold off on the whole treasure concept, or not the treasure concept, but the weapons concept? Because, like, he introduced the concept of the ancient weapons in Alabasta, and we barely get information on those things. I mean, we get them in very major arcs that, and we barely hear and or see anything on it, but anytime an ancient weapon is brought up, you see what it does to people. Like, people who know of the ancient weapon's abilities and what they can do, it either corrupts them or it drives them to, like, flagnards. Something's gotta be done immediately, bro. Like, there's a sense of urgency whenever the ancient weapons are brought up. So now there's a confirmation. I know this has been something that's been talked about in the community, but this is actual confirmation that the treasure left behind by the weapon's creator. Wait a minute, Skip. I never said something like that, did I? Well, don't worry. I don't have enough time left to come back and steal your shaggy daughter. Who says she'll be shaggy? Watch out, bro. Yo, Roger's insane. Roger's absolutely insane. Following the sea breeze, riding on the waves, far across the salty depths. Trying to see the places right here. Dog, this is so beautiful, bro. It's Roger, dude. The merry evening sun, the circling birds sing in the sky. Farewell to the harbor. Yo, all of them in the bathtub, dog, chilling. Wano Kuni, here we go. Wano Kuni, New World. So, they managed to make it all the way back to Wano. What, Toki collapsed? Toki is stable for now, but I'm going to be honest with you. She came down with a terrible fever and can't sail with us in this state. However, since she always planned to go to Wano anyway, well, she needs to get off at Wano in order to follow the doctor's orders. So this is where Toki stays in Wano with Momonosuke and Hiyori. This is where the series takes a turn. Man, Dude. So that settles it. Now all that's left is to finding out what you should do, Oden. You're just going to ditch her with Kinemon, aren't you? Come on, you guys, I'm not that cruel. Wait, Oden. Don't you dare break your promise. You swore to see that adventure to the end. Toki, bro, she's half dead, dog. She can barely breathe. This is her telling Oden, dog, if you even dare to take a step backwards in your dream, if you even dare to take a step backwards in this adventure of yours, we box him. Toki. Lord Oden, we've continued Korea in preparation for your return. Please become Wano's ruler once again. Silence! Haven't you considered Oden's feelings? He'd feel awful if his adventure ended because of me. So, enough. I'll continue to travel, as we know he did. I could tell my country had changed without even turning around to look if I turned around. I knew I would never again leave this island. It's like I couldn't stand to look at it with my own eyes. And they call him scum. But can you blame Oden, bro? I mean, if he looked back, he would probably be tempted to do something else, but right now he's delivering that promise. And he's delivering upon this not only for himself, but now he knows that his wife is also supporting him with this decision. I'm like, dog, I gotta go out and do this, man. I have to go out and see this adventure to the very, very end. We got Wano's poneglyph as fast as possible and left my country and beloved family behind. And even Roger called him scum. He's like, yo, scum. Oh, come on, you can't read the poneglyphs. 4 years later, a homecoming like this would not be waiting for me. 4 years later. Even though the Viver card points over here, I don't think we can land at Zou yet. Seriously, this isn't an island. The first time they go to Zou. This is in the Pedro flashback, right? Are you okay, Oden? Yeah, it's just this island gives off a different vibe. Look, pirates have come to visit, and they brought the Gozuki clan with them. This is a letter of introduction from Nekomamushi? The Duke! I'm so glad that both of them are still alive and well. You don't know how much turmoil your disappearance has caused. Minkmanship for the saviorship. Minkmanship for the saviors. Wait, what is this? Free hugs? Something is not sitting well with me. Are you alright, Oden? You can always go back to the ship if you aren't. I know exactly what you mean, Oden. You too, Captain Roger? Something is here. It was something huge is being stored here. And that's what they find out about the poneglyph is here. We found the last road poneglyph here in Zou. So confirmation that the final road poneglyph that Roger saw on his journey was the one on Zou. That's the Gozuki clan seal, which means we're sworn brothers with the Minks. Please take me with you. Pedro. Your name is Pedro, right? I like your spirit, but it isn't your time yet. It's the flashback. Your time to shine has yet to come. But when will my time come? You'll know when it happens. Help us then. Alright, I'll definitely help later. And so we have finally, yo, that's so awesome, dude. You know, just seeing this entire flashback, because you've heard the legends of the fact that Roger has visited these places, and Roger has been here, and Roger has been here. But the fact that we actually get to see all this in the chapter is so surreal to me, bro. Like, it's insane. And so we finally assembled the 4 road polyglyphs. The only thing that was left was the final island, bro. Wait, dog. No, I'm not ready, bro. If we actually see Raftel in this chapter, no, that's too much, bro. That's too much, dog. I feel like we shouldn't. I feel like that's too much, bro. Oh, man, dude. No. Oda's not gonna... No, he can't, bro. Because I feel like what better way for a sense of adventure than for us to see Raftel for the first time to the Straw Hat's eyes, right? But at the same time, if we see it with Roger... No, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel, bro. Like, this next chapter could change my entire... Like, bro, it's like they say Human Echo, dog. Like, you can learn something, but you can't unlearn something. Like, bro, if I learn the contents of Raftel, bro, it's over. Like, bro, I don't know. Now I know what Oda meant. When Oda was talking about his Jump Festa message, I might spoil the whole series. Dog, if I turn this page and I see Raftel... You feel me, dog? Like, the only thing left was the final island, bro. Man, what a chapter up until this point, bro. I don't even want to go to the next page, dog. I'm scared. Like, I'm legit shook, bro. I'm legit shook because, dog, can you just imagine turning the page and you see them on the Oro Jackson? They're approaching that misty place that Crocus talked about, bro. Like, dog, I don't know if I'm ready for that type of information. I don't know if I'm ready for that knowledge. Raftel, bro. It's like I just watched Stampede earlier this year, and that's the closest we've ever gotten to learn something about that. But still, like when I was watching Stampede, I was like, son, I shouldn't be knowing this. Oh, flag nerds, man. Hold on, man. I gotta chill for a sec, bro. Real talk, man. Like this is no joke, bro. This is no joke. I gotta chill for a second, man. Before I go to the next page, because listen to me. You know, I've been with this series for a very, very long time, man. Very, very long time. This has been the stuff I've been looking forward to, like towards the top of the list. Is Roger's adventure, Roger's journey. I've been wanting to see it for so long, and I thought we were gonna get it towards the end of the series. But the fact that we're getting here in Wano, it changes the whole game. And this chapter is so phenomenal, bro. With Tom, we went back to Fishman Island, just seeing how they went to all the different places the Straws also went to. And just leaving the mark that we know they left in the same exact way that Oda was like already put in the story. It's like, dog, when I first got into One Piece, man, and I fell in love with the series, I'll never forget when I first went to Logetown and the fillers showing off Roger and his awesomeness, and I was like, bro, I can't wait to see more of this character. And here we are. It's time. The final island. I'm ready, bro. Let's do it. Bro, if I see Raftel, this is the most important chapter in One Piece, bro. I mean, it already might be, but I'm not ready for this, dog. At an unknown harbor. Oh, God. What is that? Is that Raftel? Is that Raftel, bro? Cough, cough. Roger, are you alright? Nah, Roger's almost dead, bro. He's almost dead. Alright, boys, so we figured out our destination. Bro, this man Oda's gotta stop playing, dog. I was like, yo, that monk's in an unknown harbor, bro. I was a little shook. I was like, yo, what is that? It kind of had like that ancient type of look that Skypiea had when he first entered. I was like, oh snap, what is that? Roger, you're right. Got him coughing. My boy's almost dead, bro, but even death isn't stopping him from accomplishing his dream, bro. You feel me? Roger, bro. Yes, we did, Captain. Well, shall we leave? Right now. Oh. Was it luck? If so, good or bad? Suddenly, Buggy Jiro came down with a high fever as we approached the last island. Apparently, it's called the You'll Die If You Go... Yo, that's awesome! The Usopp! Why did he have to catch such a disease right before the finishing line? No, I was so close. Please take me with you. I want to see it. And that's why Buggy never got to see it. They left Shanks there too? Don't worry about Buggy. One day we'll sail there with our own ship. Nah, Shanks said he's going to take Buggy himself. Don't worry, Buggy. One day we'll sail there with our own ship. The You'll Die If You... Yo, I can imagine Usopp doing the same thing before they get there. I'm not ready for this, bro. Breaking news. No, actually, the big news. The biggest news. Gold Roger has finally answered the unanswered mystery of the world. He conquered the Grand Line. He has successfully sailed across every single ocean there is. In the words of the greatest pirate that has ever lived, he is the king of the pirates. The Kaizoku. In the words of the greatest pirate that has ever lived, he is the king of the pirates. And that news surfaced everywhere, man. The biggest news. Morgan's was having a field day, dog. On that fateful day, we had learned about everything in the entire world. We learned about the Void Century. We learned about the meaning of... I have the chillest chills I've ever had while reading manga, bro. The meaning of the D name. We learned about the ancient weapons. I at least learned that Wano had connected with the world in the past. But do you want to know what Goldie Roger, King of the Pirates, did when the treasure he sought was placed in front of his very eyes? What do you do? He laughed. Of course he did, bro. course he did, bro. Yo, this has got to be one of the most beautiful panels in all of One Piece, bro. A panel of Roger looking at his reaction to the One Piece, bro. And he laughed. Roger, bro. Right after seeing the One Piece. Bro, I can't stop looking at this battle. To the Grand Line, man. You know, when you see that panel, and you think about how Luffy's gonna react whenever he sees the One Piece, bro. He's probably gonna do it with that big stupid grin on his face, dog. And that's when we know that the series is gonna end, man. That is by far one of the most beautiful panels in the entire series. That's what I call the sense of adventure, bro. That right there is what separates One Piece to me from the other series. Because it sticks true to the themes that it introduced in chapter 1 and always has the character arcs follow those very same themes. And for Roger, the embodiment of chasing dreams and going out there and doing something, even whenever his life is about to expire before his very eyes, he went out and made sure he accomplished that mission, bro. And when he saw the One Piece, he laughed, bro, with a single tear going down his face because he finally made it. I never thought I'd see something like this, bro. The One Piece is right there. Let me finish the chapter, dog. Wow, man. Goldie flipping Roger, bro. We laughed as well, to the point where tears started pouring out of our eyes. I feel you, dog. I'm right there with you, man. Joy boy. I really wish I had been born in the same era as you. Joy boy, you left behind such an Joy boy was the one who made the ancient weapons? Has that ever been said in the series before? You left behind such an unbelievable treasure. What a funny story. Hey guys, how about we name this last island no one arrived at yet? They named it in the past 800 years this Laugh Tale. They're the ones that named it Laugh Tale? So Joy Boy was the one? I mean, we had an idea, right? So they were the ones that named it because no one else arrived there, so they based the name off of Joy Boy's story. So it's confirmed the One Piece is Joy Boy's treasure. Dog. Nah, this is the most important chapter in One Piece so far, bro. It has to be. In terms of this type of information, that we've never had anything like this. Hold on. Joy Boy is a person who lived on the surface during the 100-year void, so at least 800 years ago that message was meant for the mermaid princess on the island at the time. It was an apology for breaking a promise made with Ocean Island. The concept of the promise is not clear, but someone will come along to fulfill the promise and Joy Boy did, at least according to the royal legend. So we believe in that day and uphold our part of the promise by protecting Noah throughout the generations. For it is not until the day the promise comes about that Noah will fulfill his actual purpose. That's yet to happen. After everything ended above the island, I heard that Noah was taken to the forest of the sea by Neptunians. If Joy Boy was meant to use Noah, could he have had the power to control Neptunians? No, the one who could use that was the Marine Prince at that time. It's not many Princess Shiroshi can do the same thing. It's believed the Latin come full and full. Now that it brings me any joy. 2 years ago, an ancient weapon. It was here. Could the Mermaid Princess who lived in the time of Joy Boy have another name? A name that Princess Shiroshi, who had the same power, will now inherit as her own. Her name is, in fact, the ancient weapon Poseidon. Joy Boy, man. So Joy Boy was not only the person... But that doesn't make any sense, right? Because it said the creator of these weapons. What does that even mean? Because it's a person. It's an individual. Unless Joy Boy... Bro, One Piece has to chill, man. We just received one of the greatest chapters I've ever read. I thought last week was one of the greatest. This final page, without question, is one of the greatest final pages in the history of One Piece. I've been reading this manga weekly for a very, very long time. And it's been a long, long time. And I include the Reverie chapters. I include the Zou chapters. I think this chapter is more important than all those, man. I mean, bro, we're going to reread it. We're going to reread it right now. I got to reread it. I got to reread it because I need some clarification here, folks. Bro, this is the greatest panel in One Piece. Bro, look at this panel, dog. Like, yo, Roger's out here just laughing with all his might with a tear coming down his eye, bro. We laughed as well to the point where tears started pouring out of our eyes. Bro, I legit almost started crying whenever I saw that panel, bro. Like, they found it, bro. I love this series so much, bro. Joy Boy, I really wish I had been born in the same era as you. So that means that he saw Joy Boy as someone worthy of respect, worthy of admiration. You left behind such an unbelievable treasure. What a funny story. Hey guys, how about we name this last island that no one arrived at yet in the past 800 years? This Laugh Tale. Bruh. Let's go through it again. Let's go through it again, bro. Let's go through it again. Let's go through it again, man. I'm rereading the whole chapter. On camera, I don't care. I'm rereading the whole chapter. From the clouds of Skypiea, the crew safely returned to the sea and still to the shipbuilder's city, bro. Water 7, dog. Rayleigh, really, you have a stone in your country. What color is it? It's red. That's the type of I'm looking for. You should have told me earlier, damn it. You know what? Where's my headphones at? I'm going to listen to... There's a playlist on YouTube called The Beautiful Soundtrack Collection for One Piece. I'm going to listen to that while we read the chapter. I have to, bro. This is a monumental chapter, bro. I'm shook, dog. Yo. I can't even begin with Revelations, bro. What do I even say? You feel me? I can't do any words justice for this chapter. Beautiful soundtrack collection. Perfect soundtrack to start off. The world's #1 Oden store. This is perfect. This type I'm looking for. You should have told me earlier, damn it. We stole a rubbing from Big Mom's poneglyph and have a feeling about where another one might be. Great, Captain. Is this a gift from the heavens? Oh, I have all road poneglyphs within my reach. Oh, Roger, bro. We just saw his journey, dog. Like, I'm so shook, bro. Dog, this is what I've been waiting for, man. Like, I'm telling y'all. When I started One Piece, when I started binging One Piece was the first very, very long series that I ever went into, because they're the ones I had watched on TV, like the Narutos, the Yu Yu Hakusho's, the Dragon Balls, the Bleaches. I started with all that on TV, bro. And even though One Piece started on TV too, that was the one that I watched from episode 1 until to where we are now. And I just remember that binging experience, bro, both in the anime and the manga. And every single time when we saw something about Roger, I just got so hyped, bro. I mean, still to this very day. My most rewatched scenes, like I always say, are always Roger scenes. When I'm on YouTube and I'm either bored or I just want it, like I'm in the One Piece mood, I'll search up One Piece Goldie Roger or Roger, and it'll be like a bunch of different videos, man. Like him going in the Edward and Shiki, and whenever he first invited Rayleigh to the crew, Rayleigh talking about Roger and type of dude he was, Garp talking about Roger and type of dude he was, Garp speaking of Roger, Roger and telling Garp to take care of Ace, you know, Roger in Skypiea. All those scenes, but now lately with the Pedro scene and the scene in the shop whenever Rayleigh was holding the drink in the Luffy Snake Man episode. And it's like, bro, all those Roger scenes in Logetown, that's the reason why we watch that arc so much. Like, Logetown in the anime, that's a top 10 arc in One Piece for me, man. Just because of the Roger flashbacks. Like, I love the adventure of this dude, because when I found out that he had almost no time left to live in Sabaody, I was like, bro, I know I'm gonna love this character. Because he embodies one of my favorite character archetypes in storytelling, which is the character that does not have much time to live and lives it out to the fullest. That is like a top 3 archetype, and Roger is lit, bro. He is the embodiment of that and so much more, bro. Oh my god, dude, I can't believe I read this chapter, bro. Like, yo, this, my mans went through the entire adventure. We saw the One Piece. Bro, we were in the same vicinity, bro. The same area. The panel that took place was Roger looking down at the One Piece. I can't, bro. Laugh Tale? They were the ones that named it Laugh Tale. And they named it after Joy Boy's story. Joy Boy's story impacted them so much. But was it within Joy Boy's story that they... I mean, Joy Boy's story has to be the Void Century, right? So, like, within there... Bro, well, wait. Rayleigh spoke and told Luffy and the crew back in Sabaody that they needed to come to a different decision than them. Let's see if you reach a different answer than us. They were too hasty. Remember that? What does that mean? Like in the car. Oh, what does that mean? You feel me? Wow, man. In the water capital, Water 7, Scrap Island. Long time no see, guys. Tom, I wanted to see you, Tom. Bro, it's Tom, dude. My man Roger asked, is the train finished yet, bro? Where's the sea train at, dog? Longhorned cowfish fishman. Are you kidding me? It's still being designed. They're as loud as ever. You're an orphan? You want to come with us? Bro, Frankie, dude. Like, yo, we got insight. We got insight into Frankie and his pops. I don't want anything to do with you pirates. Just remind me too. You were abandoned by pirates. You're a funny kid. So that means if Oda brought it up again, that 100% means that in his mind, he has this whole Frankie and his father plot already in mind. Which means we have yet to see... Well, of course, every Straw Hat has like the arc specific to them and their importance. But we have yet to see Frankie's character arc conclude in terms of him coming to terms with the disappearance of his father. You know, and so I can't wait to see when either Frankie meets his father and or finds out about the truth about who his father was or what happened with him. Because if his father was a pirate and left him behind, then who was he? You feel me? Like, who in the One Piece world that is alive and or dead could be Frankie's pops? It's like with the Straw Hats, there's always so much mystery behind, like, all of that, you know? In the brook, bro. Y'all remember in the... there's this scene where in Sabaody, whenever Rayleigh's talking about Roger, and Brooke's like, Roger? Isn't that Rookie? I was like, yo, the Rookie! I was like, yo, goat! Yo... And they even went all the way to where Robin was. I forget the name of the place again, but of where Robin was in post time skip. The Oro Jackson, bro. Then they went to Sabaody. It's Fishman Island. Let's go to the amusement parks. Don't be foolish, Oden. There's a big chance we'll die on the way to the real Fishman Island. The real Fishman Island, and so I'm. What they mean by that is the one all the way down below, right? Or am I tripping? And there actually is like a real Fishman Island, like we went to the fake Fishman Island. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm confused by that statement. Bro, Roger hearing the voices just like, Luffy this. We're 10,000 leagues under the sea. Who are you? Show yourself. Pretty sure I also heard something. You too? Where's all this noise coming from? Wait, why are you here, humans? It's me. Look, it's me, Neptune. Roja! Yo, what this tells me, though, is that Roger, of course, went to Lodestar Island, right? Whenever he was much younger. And he went to all these places before then. And then years passed, and he decided to embark on another journey. Now, I really wonder, is Oda gonna make Luffy do something similar to that? Because a lot of people say that Luffy is way too young at this point in time to really become Pirate King, right? A lot of people have that statement, that sentiment. And there's always been talk of a second time skip. How would that happen? How would it work? I'm still unsure of whether there will be a second time skip or not. And I'm still unsure of the way that the series is going to go from here on out. But knowing that Roger did it, if the Straw Hats happen to go through it too, it's something I could definitely see. It's something I could most certainly see. But it would just have to be executed in the right way. And the last time we did a time skip, it ended up being one of my favorite arcs ever created in Return to Sabaody. So, hey, I'll take another time skip, you feel me? But I think even if he doesn't do another time skip, Oda knows what he's doing. But it's just fascinating that Roger went through all of this and then came back to a lot of these places. Because a lot of these places he didn't visit once. But he obviously visited a lot of like these big time places that Luffy also visited. But Roger visited them twice. Indicating like, because he as you saw, like, yo, him and Tom, like, yo, my boy, dog, how's everything going? And Neptune is like, yo, my dog, chillin', you feel me? Like, that's what he's doing. But for other places, it's like he's visiting for the first time, and it's so fascinating because he visited places on his second journey that Luffy all visited in the first. So those are the differences in their journeys as well, you feel me? But regardless, man, Neptune, we haven't done anything wrong. That's because you haven't done anything yet. Listen, I stopped talking to you about a prophecy. I stopped you to talk about a prophecy, something only a man of your caliber could achieve. And that's the Noah one, right? Like, he's talking about the Noah prophecy. Now think about it, because I was thinking about First Joy Boy. So he's either talking about the prophecy when it comes to with the Noah, or he's talking about the prophecy which Madame Shirley says the Fishman Island will be destroyed. And a man with a straw hat will do it, right? The doors to Fishman Island will be open for everyone, and the border between our worlds will be no more. Which is so interesting that Fishman Island has that, the border between the worlds will be no more, because it's like Fishman Island sort of has the same thing that Wano has. And I'm so happy that they have that within this flashback, because you see that Wano is not the only country that is dealing with this type of stuff. And even though we know this, Fishman Island's borders aren't like, it's not like Wano has physical borders that one cannot leave. You feel me? Like, Wano, it's like an Attack on Titan, like those walls around, like, dog. It's both a physical and a spiritual barrier that's there. Like, you feel me? That you are not free up here, you're not free physically, right? That's the thing that Wano has. With Fishman Island, it was more of just a mental freedom. You know, like, we want to be free. We want to be accepted by those above. We want to be one with the humans. We want to have those moments like that Shirahoshi had whenever she was able to look down at the entire world and be like, man, what a beautiful place we're living in. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the type of freedom that I see from them on their side. Because they're fishmen. Like, what a beautiful way to continue on, or later on in the series, whenever Luffy actually does end up doing a lot of this stuff, when we see the fishmen interacting, especially with what happened to me in the series with Arlong Park. I mean, we know what's happened on both sides. How humans have suffered because of fishmen, not because of how fishmen have suffered because of humans, but it's all because of their constant conflict. So how beautiful would it be if at the end of the series, we have like the fishmen and the humans truly free and together and communicating. We have these situations where fishmen are out and they're doing their thing, you know, and we have the humans accepting them freely, like they're out, and we no longer have scenes like we had on Fishman Island where Hachi shows up and everybody's absolutely disgusted. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, and even though like 100% peace will never exist, right? But at the very least, having like the natural consensus around everyone being like, okay, man, we accept these creatures. You know, like, we accept them as free beings that can come out onto the surface and be along with us. And over time, that'll become a natural thing that people will come to accept. And so I'm very, very, very excited for when that time comes. That's going to be a very, very emotional chapter. Since you're here and you have that power to destroy the entry to the island. So is that what they're talking about when it comes to Luffy then? The doors to Fishman Island will be open for everyone. And they also have a physical barrier technically too with the red line. Right? Because it's very hard to enter Fishman Island, but it's not impossible. But I guess the same thing could be said about Wano. Anyways. To destroy the entrance to this island. And the entrance to the island technically is the red line. So that is the prophecy of the red line being destroyed with the Marijoa coming down, Fishman Island being destroyed. But I've heard, you know, in my discussions with other people in the community, we always have the discussions of, okay, when Fishman Island gets destroyed, yada yada, what happens? And a lot of people want Luffy to actually destroy it as a means of being free. Like, you know, he destroys the island himself and says, screw all this, you guys are no longer kept hostage or whatever. You're no longer chained up by this place. Go out to the ocean and up to the mainland and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, screw just being set down here. I'll destroy this place and make sure they force you to live up there. You know what I'm saying? And I could definitely see a scene like that, but I could also, of course, see the theory that's been around for a very, very long time, that one of the ancient weapons destroyed is the red line. The red line gets decimated. You have the Marijoa come down into where we are, and we have Fishman Island be destroyed just from the red line going down. Now, regardless of how Oda wants to do it, maybe he could do both. He could very well do both. Luffy goes down there. He says, "Hey, y'all evacuate. Let's get to Noah. Noah, take all of the fishmen. We're going right up to We're going right up there. And the moment that we get everyone out of here, Luffy's gonna be on top of the Noah. He's gonna fire Uranus into the red line. The red line goes. Marijoa comes down. Instant messenger Sama and Luffy face. Instant messenger Sama wants nothing. He wants nothing." But anyways, that's just a thought. Just a thought. So Neptune, our army has suffered some damage. The doors that allows ships into the harbor has also suffered some damage. Roger, did you hit it? There's a hole near the border bubble too. Go and patch it. So the day of the day of the disaster has finally come. We've been standing right here. It wasn't us. The day of disaster will only happen if the Mermaid Princess is born, which is exactly what we were discussing earlier with the whole Luffy thing. Mermaid Princess on the last news, so the king should we throw a party now until she's born? I'm not even married. I only became a king a few months ago too. But Sir Neptune, everyone knows that surely had a prophecy containing information about how a carp will marry into the royal family. A carp. All right. And since then, Otohime has been leading political demonstrations demanding the king to better our relationship with humans, which is exactly what was taking place within the Hody Jones flashback. Or not, no, technically it is the Hody Jones flashback, but in the Fishman Island flashback. What kind of prophecy is that? See, bro, it's a flashback like this that makes rereads like, yo, I cannot wait to reread One Piece. And I'm gonna reread it next year because next year I plan on doing another ranking the arcs. I haven't done that since 2015 or 2016, whenever last time I did it. And I'm planning on rereading the series again next year. So next year, yo, that reread, because I reread from Alabasta to it was Alabasta to something. I don't remember where I stopped, but I reread that section when Instant Messenger Sama was revealed, and I've reread all of that like 5 times, just trying to find, because that was the era. I always look back at Alabasta as the pinpoint because Oda stated around that time that he wanted to end One Piece in 5 years. And so every time I look at Alabasta, Drum Island, Jaya, and Skypiea, I'm always like, Oda had all of this in mind to be leading us towards the end of the series. Which is why in Jai and Alabasta, we see so many end-of-series stuff being introduced. Robin, key part into the Void Sentry. Void Sentry gets introduced in the Ancient Weapons. Possibly it's the Messenger Sama. You know, also Jaya with the Mari Joa, the Gorosei. We get to see a lot of Shichibukai. We get to see Blackbeard. I mean, huge stuff, right, for the future of the series. So I always reread that just to see clues into the future of the series, because all that entire like stretch of arcs is so important and integral to the future of the series. And I always enjoy rereading that, especially for Instant Messenger Sama theories. But now I need that needs another reread. Like the entire series does, honestly, but after this, dude. As you've witnessed, the whole country is caught up in the child's prophecy. Neptune, for the last time, we've got nothing to do with this chaos. Wait a second, there are 2 poneglyphs in this forest. One of them doesn't seem important, but is the other's an apology from a man named Joy Boy. I must say I'm impressed you can read those. More importantly, the weapon that could shake the entire world isn't here. The poneglyph from Sky Island said it would be here. Well, about that, I recently heard one of Shirley's prophecies concerning that weapon. Every 100 years, Poseidon, the god of the sea, is reborn. His hidden powers to destroy the world lays dormant inside a pure maiden. So, Poseidon is reborn within every... I'm going to say like 2 to 3 mermaid princesses, right? Unless mermaid princesses last that long, then it would... There's been 8, or I don't know. I need to go back and, I guess, reread Fishman Island 2 on that end. But with Shirahoshi in particular, I feel like I kind of need to... I think I kind of need to reevaluate her true importance to the story, because up until this point in time, I've been mainly thinking about Shirahoshi as a means of a deterrent within the context of the series because of what Caribou did at the end of the arc and his importance to Fishburne Island. You know, we'd always been thinking about Shirahoshi as this character, oh, she's going to get kidnapped at the Reverie, and it's going to cause this thing with Kaido, and it's going to cause people to be pissed off, and it's going to sink all this into the future. After Instant Messenger Sama showed those pictures of Shirahoshi, Vivi, Luffy, and Blackbeard, all main key players that will be very, very important in the series, and obviously something's already going down with Sabo, Vivi, and Hancock going to the Jump Festa thing. Shirahoshi's importance to the end of the series, because Fishman Island, of course, is going to be very, very important to the end of the series, so is the Noah and the Ancient Weapons, of course, includes her, but I think her as a character, her as an individual, is going to be very, very important when we get to that final saga. Because I feel like, because of what Luffy has stated multiple times, with it not being about who they are, but where they come from, but who they are as individuals, that leads them into making the decisions that they make, especially whenever he said that in the Katakuri thing, it's changed my perspective and on what hockey is, and on will. It's changed my perspective on a few different things, because Shirahoshi has a will of her own. It's not like somebody can control her. I mean, technically somebody could, but she has a will and a mind of her own, especially after Fishman Island and seeing how Luffy does certain things, and he's the king of his own mind. He's free in his own right. So having Shirahoshi be free in her own right, and having her be her own boss and take control, because somebody later on the line is going to try to do something with Shirahoshi. They're going to have her in a situation where she's probably not going to be able to choose, where she is going to have to force her way out of a certain situation. And what better way for her to force her way out of a situation than to call upon the Sea Kings to take care of the situation for her, right? So I think Shirahoshi's character and her personality is going to come into, like, whenever we see her bloom and we see her truly grow and mature into this princess of Vivi's caliber, because, and it's not Shirahoshi's fault, and I think that's the reason why I like her character so much, is because Shirahoshi was so trapped in for so long, she never had the opportunity to do stuff that Vivi has done, right? And that Vivi going down and truly trying to save her country in the manner that she did. Shirahoshi wasn't able to do that because she was locked inside of a room for 16 years, and she doesn't know the cause. Everything scares her. So what better way for her to have that type of moment, which we always just reserve for a character like Usopp and for Buggy, to have also a situation like that for Shirahoshi, where Shirahoshi shows her bravery in battle as being the weapon Poseidon, and being proud of that and really owning that in the middle of the final war. That's going to be a beautiful moment, man. A very, very beautiful moment. And I can't wait for it. To put it simply, it's highly likely that my daughter is the weapon that will destroy the world, but that's as far as prophecy goes. I have no idea what kind of person she will be, so Poseidon is a mermaid, huh? I will give you tips on the fatherhood if you want. That's such an awesome line. It's really, you got any other prophecies? Maybe you can tell us when Poseidon will be born? And then Roger's already smiling. Yo, Roger loves kids, man. Yo, my guy gets along with any kid, because he is a kid at heart. 10 years, there you have it, Roger, 10 years. Honestly, I'm disappointed and concerned that you're showing so much interest. Neptune, what we're after is a treasure left behind by the weapons creator. There we go. So, because interesting, I don't think that's something that has not been confirmed in terms of Joy Boy being the weapons creators and like the creator of these ancient weapons. So, with that being said, because it right here, I reread it I misread it the first time. It didn't say weapons with like an S. It has this one apostrophe, so it could just be talking about Poseidon rather than all three of them. So if it's just Poseidon, and of course we already know there's a history between Joy Boy and Poseidon, but I feel like because of the way that One Piece is, and because Roger and crew found out about all the ancient weapons, the Void Sentry, the Will of D, and everything right there with Joy Boy's story, then it has to be that Joy Boy was also the creator of all the ancient weapons. But I just wonder, then, like when they mean creator, does that mean that Joy Boy literally created her in terms of being the father of Poseidon, of like the first Poseidon? I don't know. I'm confused, bro. You feel me? Like, how do you create a being? The godlike figures do not exist in One Piece. Well, NL, but he can't create life. So like, it's I'm confused in that end. Like, how could he create something like that? It could just be a term. Like, he created them. He's the one that molded them, like on some Bane stuff. Like, he molded them into whatever. So that's very interesting. We're not interested in the weapon, right, Roger? And then then what's fascinating too, remember what Shiki said. Shiki was referring to Roger. Actually, let me go back and watch that scene again. Let me go back and watch that scene again. Because Shiki was talking to Roger about a weapon. Hold on. Roger's words to Shiki. All right. Just once you should listen to what the gold lion says. Your body won't let you die no matter how many times they cut you, so why do you... Dog, this is exactly how we see them right now in the flashback. That's so cool, dude. That weapon, fortunately for you, he's in perfect shape. Look at Rayleigh, bro. Rayleigh was always the father in the crew, bro. Like, yo, he's smacking around and he'll be with him whenever it needs to be, bro. Look at Roger, bro. I can't believe we just saw his story, dog. Like, I'm gonna look at every single flashback in the series so much more incredibly now, you know? Here we go. Shiki. Nothing between us, but let's put the past behind us. We'll use that apocalyptic weapon you found. We'll use that apocalyptic weapon you found. And my military might. And then with the perfect plan to spend so many years. So, with that apocalyptic weapon that they found, right? And they already had some sort of insight into what Poseidon and the ancient weapons are, right? So, I don't think they're talking about Poseidon there. You feel me? And then the fact that they went to Water 7... And they met Tom, and they were within that area, which is responsible for another one of the ancient weapons. Then they probably already know about that one too. So I'm very, very curious. When is Oda gonna reveal to us what is Uranus then, right? Because we know of the other two, but then what about Uranus? You feel me? Like, is that the apocalyptic weapon that they're talking about? Because all of them technically can be seen as these apocalyptic type of weapons. Things capable of destroying the world, right? Things capable of destroying multiple islands at will. You know, Sea King, a massive ship that just goes up and like swimmer, and then whatever the flying planet of Uranus is, right? So you have this, you have these ideas that of things that are just otherworldly that could go up in like swimwear. And then you have a person like Crocodile that's behind this very weapon, right? And Crocodile, we know, is a person who he's meticulous about his stuff, Doc. He would only choose the best of the best. So Uranus has got to be the goat of the goat. Yeah, if these are the 3 Egyptian god cards, like Uranus has to be the Wind Dragon of Ra. Like, whenever he's extremely powered up, guy's got to be the goat. You feel me? So I feel like that's that might be the weapon they were talking about, which means that Roger knew where all of them were located and where they started from and where they are. But what that tells me is, then what about where we currently are in the story? Like, was Crocodile's hunch correct and that thing really wasn't Alabasta? Or are we being bamboozled and that thing is really in, like, Wano? It could be in the Marijoa? Because I highly doubt that thing's in Raftel. They already knew about these things. They'd already found it before they reached Raftel. Or Laughdale. So, where in the flying flag north is Uranus? Right? Like, where? Where is it, dog? These panels were so beautiful, bro. Following the sea breeze, you have the Oro Jacks, and then you have all of them getting, like... you have Oden getting wrecked. Roger and them are running far across the salty depths. And then you have them reaching the poneglyph. Is that on Elbaf? I'm not sure. Not sure. The merry evening sun, the circle, bro. Look at them chilling all right here, man. Having fun, man. The circling birds sing in the sky, farewell to the harbor. Wano Kuni New World. And they actually managed to go all the way back to Wano. Toki is stable for now, but I'm going to be honest with you. She came down with a terrible fever, and I'm willing to get off on Wano's orders. Yo, shout out to Toki in the scene, man. Toki was like, dog, you better not break your promise, or we're boxing. We're throwing hands if you even dare to break your promise. Sort of see that adventure to the end. And right here, that what Oden says, I could tell my country had changed without even turning around to look. If I turned around, I knew I would never leave again. I would never again leave this island. It's like I couldn't stand to look at it with my own eyes. We got Wano's poneglyphs as fast as possible and left my country and beloved family behind. Okay, Roger, yo, call him scum. 4 years later, a homecoming like this would not be waiting for me. You know, the Viva cards point over here. I don't think we can land the Zoe yet. There we go. They go Zoe. Yeah, that legendary scene with whenever they first find the poneglyph that we saw, and then him with Pedro. That's awesome, dude. Like the way that everything just comes together like that. When will this time come? The final island, bro. When I saw this unknown harbor, I was legit shook, bro. I was like, yo, what is that place? And then Roger is dying, man. I mean, you can see it. You can feel it, bro. You can feel it, man. Roger is almost like, yo, he's... Roja, dude. Alright, boys, have we found our destination yet? Was it luck? If so, good or bad? Suddenly, Buggy Jiro came down with a high fever as we approached the last island. But it's called the You'll Die If You Go to the Island disease. Why did he have to catch such a disease right before the finishing line? So, it appears that Buggy, Shanks, and Crocus... No, Crocus, I think, went with them. Well, hold on, let me look back at the final panel again. No, I was so close to saving with you, but I want to see it. Don't worry about Buggy. One day we'll sail there with our own ship. That's so awesome coming from Shanks, bro. That's nasty. And then we have Morgan's releasing the biggest news in the history of the world. Breaking news, and actually the biggest news. Gold Roger. Bro, my boy Morgan's out here delivering. They the big news. Gold Roger has finally answered the unanswered mystery of the world. He conquered the Grand Line. He has successfully sailed across every single ocean there is. In the words of the greatest pirate that has ever lived, he is the Kaiser. The king of the pirates. On that fateful day, we had learned about... Hold on, bro. I gotta play To the Grand Line for this scene, man. I have to, bro. Where's To the Grand Line? Chacho, man, esto es increíble, oye. Esto es increíble. We had learned about everything in the world. We learned about the void century. We learned about the meaning of the D name. We learned about the ancient weapons. I at least learned that Wano had connected with the world in the past. But do you want to know what Goldie Roger, king of the pirates, did when the treasure he sought was placed in front of his very eyes? I love how Oden's just writing all this, bro. I mean, he's writing legendary text, bro. He's writing the red truth, dog. My man is out here writing the you know how Legend of Galactic Heroes has like that narration style of stuff that has taken place? Oden is the narrator of Legend that is telling us the tale of Roger, bro. And we get this incredible panel of Roger's back. And the following page, we get one of the greatest panels in all of One Piece, without question. Without question. He laughed. And the single tear coming down his face, my guy laughed, bro. Because he finally saw it in the face of the One Piece, in the face of everything. Really? Oden, Crocus. But I don't see Shanks. So that means that Shanks and Buggy probably didn't go to Raftail? Or they didn't go to Laughdale? I'm curious, man. Because I don't see them. I guess it's something we'll find out, man. And then this, Joy Boy, I really wish I had been born in the same era as you, bro. You know somebody's legendary when Roger is saying he wishes he would have been born in the same era as Joy Boy. Like, what type of story is there to tell, man? Apparently a funny story. We left behind such an unbelievable treasure. What a funny story. Hey guys, how about we name this last island that no one arrived at yet in the past 800 years? This Laugh Tale. Dog, that's so goat to me, bro. Hold on, man. I have to put the world's #1 Oden store right quick. I gotta read that again. Joy Boy, I really wish I had been born in the same era as you. Left behind such an unbelievable treasure. What a funny story. Hey guys, how about we name this last island no one has arrived at yet in the past 800 years? This Laugh Tale. And we have no idea, no insight into what it looks like, where it is, and that's what I'm so happy about. Like, Roger and them are on Raftail. We see that it is a place, but we have no idea where it is. We don't know if it's in the moon. We don't know if it's not on the ground. We don't know if it's behind Reverse Mountain. We don't know if it is Reverse Mountain. We don't know where it is. But all we know is that they were the first ones to conquer the entire Grand Line. They were the first ones to make it here, so much so that when they got there and they saw this treasure left behind by Joy Boy, who was the last person to be here, they decided to name it Laugh Tale, man. I know I said last week, might be one of my favorite chapters in the whole series. This is, without question, one of my favorite chapters in all of One Piece, man. This flashback in this chapter has solidified it as my favorite flashback in the series, and it's going to be hard to top, man. I mean, I can assume that Joy Boys is probably going to give it a run for its money, but it's just that, man, you know, I've been waiting for so long, bro. I've been waiting for years. Someone who really cares about Roger's story and about Roger's adventure. We just got an entire chapter dedicated to that, bro. To Roger, his crew, and Oden, and how things went in his time. If there's anything that this chapter tells y'all, man, it's that One Piece is ending, bro. And it feels like all 2019, all 2018 felt that way. But ever since we entered this flashback and Oda is not pulling any punches, he's telling us stuff straight up and raising mysteries and solving others. It's a chapter like this that really makes me happy, man, that I got into One Piece, bro. You know. If this is what Oda has in store here for this flashback, what in the world does he have in store for post Wano and beyond, bro? You feel me? Like, Onigashima he's already stated, this is the stuff I've been waiting to, like, whenever I thought about Wano, this is the stuff I'm wanting to write. Everything has just been like, all right, man, let's get through with this so we can get to Wano. And I'm like, God, I've been loving Wano so much. After this flashback, Wano is without question going to end up being one of my favorite arcs. I've already stated, when Wano started, I think Wano, by the end of it, will end up being my favorite. I think it has so much going for it, so many things that I enjoy in the series about it, and the anime has been helping out on that end. But I've just been enjoying Wano so much that I feel like it's going to end up being, at the very least, a top 5 arc for me, and it might end up being my favorite. And this flashback's definitely helping it. But with Oda saying that the stuff he truly wants to write has yet to come, like it is incoming in 2020. 2020 is going to be a crazy year for One Piece. And then what, post Wano? I can't wait to read the Viz translation next Monday, because I want to see how they word certain things. I really, really do. I want to see it because I want to know how it is that how they word certain, so that I can get a better understanding. Because I'm curious on that weapons creator thing. I really am. Like, did Joy Boy create multiple, or was he only responsible for the creation behind Poseidon? I think that's fascinating. Because then Joy Boy's, his importance to the story skyrocketed this chapter. Joy Boy's treasure is the one thing. I mean, bro, it's something that we have speculated, right? But to actually get confirmation on this type of stuff. But you know what, man? I think that's what makes this chapter so spectacular, is that it could... If Oda had never given us the reveals, this still would have been a 10 out of 10 chapter. Because it's Roger's adventure. But the fact that he did give us these reveals and these things to think about and ponder about makes it a 50 out of 10 chapter. Without question, man. Without question. I can't wait to see what the official translation is in store, to see how they word certain things. And when that comes out, I think I'm going to do an afterthoughts on it. I'm going to wait until then because I have a lot of my... a lot of y'all only watch the videos after the translation comes out. So I'll wait for y'all to get involved too. And then after that, we'll do an afterthoughts, because I want to talk about this chapter. Of course, I'm going to reread this chapter right whenever I turn off the camera. I'm going to reread it again, man. This is the stuff I've been waiting for, bro. Like, when this gets animated, it's going to be my most rewatched episode in the series. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe I just read that. And this chapter doesn't even have a title, dude. Like, I never saw the title page. Let me see. Page 1. There's no title. This chapter will forever be known as Goat Roger. This chapter will forever be known as Goldie Ruja, man. God, man, I can't recall the last time I looked at a panel like this that really got me that emotional, bro. I mean, yo. This whole chapter got me emotional, but this panel right here, man, with Roger laughing in the face of the One Piece, bro, saying, damn it, I did it. It took me so long, but I conquered it. I conquered the Grand Line. I made it. In my last days, near dead, but I made it. One of the best chapters in the entire series. 2020 has a lot to live up to. They have a lot to live up to. Because if this is starting it off, 2020, I thought 2019 was the year of One Piece. With Hungry Days, with the anime, with the manga going ham. 2020 is about to go ham, dude. 2020 is about to go ham, dog. I will see y'all next time. I'll see y'all in the comments. I'm really, really, really curious on seeing your thoughts on all of this. This entire chapter, the Roger flashback, the Laugh Tale, Joy Boy. Let me know your thoughts on Joy Boy and that entire thing, man. Because I'm curious, just so that I can see where y'all's minds are at when it comes to that. And the entire chapter. I mean, to feel the wholesome moments that this chapter provided. Buggy, bro. Oden, man. Like, did y'all also get chills when Oden was talking about that, man? Amazing, amazing stuff. Nile was right, man. Nile was right. Nile told me that whenever he first initially read it, he was shook, bro. He was like, dog, I could have read this on the worst scans possible and it still would have been godly. A chapter like this is one of those chapters that sticks with you, man. It sticks with you. It reminds me of back whenever we had really, really bad scans during Sabaody, when we were getting those chapters about Rayleigh talking about the One Piece and all that stuff. And it was, you know, even though that was the era of mistranslations galore, but the fact that Rayleigh was talking about Roger, bro, it didn't matter, dog. It was godly regardless. You feel me? And that's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now, man. Thank y'all so much for watching, bro. One of the best chapters I've ever had the privilege of covering on the channel. This is a monumental one, man. This is a monumental one, bro. Thank y'all so much for watching. For Roger greatness. Laugh Tale, dog.